Happy International Women's Day, Sweet Maids. I am Marsha Guerriere, founder of Her Sweet Spot, and I'm excited to be here with you in celebration of you, of me, of us, of we, of our male allies that are always out here supporting us. I'm just so excited and thrilled for our conversation today and really helping you guys kind of get your wellness on this year. This year's conversation is all about providing healing and promoting hope for women caretakers. And I can't wait to get to this conversation with today's special guest. Alina Haitz is the voice of the everyday working parent that struggles with the ups and downs of life. As a type A personality, always on the move, she struggled with her own sense of mental wellness for several years. Through various tools, classes, and mentors, she now practices and teaches about mental wellness in the workplace. Alina has a simple and fun approach to teaching and practicing better self care, self compassion, mindfulness, and overall mental wellness at work. She is the author of a book of reflections on Mother Nature titled I Am, which was written for those in need of healing and those that work in helping other professionals. I'm so excited to bring you on. Thank you so much for being my guest today and just being here to help provide a little healing to women out here on this International Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. This is a special day for us, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And it's so funny because as I pronounce your name, as I'm reading, I'm like, did I say her name right?
You said it right. Reaching new heights.
Often as we
right.
speak, as often as we talk, right? I'm
Yes.
like, oh my God, this would be the time.
You said it right. It has a German pronunciation, so I appreciate you saying it right. Thank you.
Excellent. You know, as a person with a non-traditional or a last name that people often question, it's good to know that I can do that for others too. Well, welcome to the broadcast. I'm so excited, like I said, to have you here and to really talk about wellness. And I thought it was so important to have you on today so we could truly help women on this day of International Women's Day really get to really understanding why self-care is important and why putting themselves first is important. So before we get into the nuts and bolts of today's topic, I want to learn a little bit more about you, or I want the world to learn a little bit more about you. Can you share more about your early career choices?
Sure. So I started out working in education back several years ago, and I just found myself not really sure what to do, not really sure where to focus my energy. I know I loved working with people. And as a young, my early 20s, I just, it would be great to work at a college, kind of like go back to college and serve, I guess I really wasn't sure what to do, but I knew that I wanted to use my skills and working with people and, not sitting behind a desk all the time. So I started working at university. I live in Long Island, New York, local university on Long Island. This is several years ago. Then I transitioned. So I was doing a lot of speaking in high schools, talking about the freshman college experience. And, actually the title of the talk was How to Survive Your Freshman Year of College. So I would go into the metro area, the boroughs, and I would talk to these, juniors and seniors in high school, sometimes sophomores. And I would give them a real deal about what it's like to survive freshman year of college, what they had to look forward to, but also, the ups and downs of what it's like to be in college, and giving them some hope and also some encouragement and also some authentic truth, right? Some truth about what it's really like. So what to be prepared for. And then I just started moving my way into higher education. I started working in admissions, enrollment management. Then I took a little bit of a change. I was interested in human resources, so specifically in talent development, learning and development. And I started working with the current college that I'm at, Malloy College, And I started working in learning and development, so training, because I've always been a person who just wants to learn and wants to do better and be more productive and more successful. So I did that for about 4 years. And currently I work still at Malloy College. I work in academic affairs, working with teachers that are looking to continue their studies post their master's degree. And I help them. And, so I found myself really enjoying working with students of all ages. I do work with a lot of non-traditional or adult age students.
Mm-hmm.
And I also found myself wanting to continue the HR work. So I started doing a lot of wellness training, especially now with the pandemic within the past several years.
Yeah.
People are really thirsty for the wellness training. So I do a lot of speaking, training, sometimes consulting for organizations on the side, which is my, side hustle.
Yes.
So I do that. And I help. I'm focusing right now on healthcare professionals that are really looking to not get burnt out in the profession.
Yeah, that's such an
Good.
important, and I think that's what this year's International Women's Day theme is all about, the caregivers, and that's why we're here mainly talking about working moms, but being in a field of education where it is a predominantly heavily female role. Even Joshua asked me, and he Joshua's in the second grade now, and he recently this year found a male teacher in the school, and he came to me and was like, "Mom, do guys teach too?" And he had never seen in all his 7 years of life, he has never seen a male teacher. So we do know that the education field and teachers are predominantly, those roles are predominantly held by women. What are your thoughts on the challenges or lack of challenges, or what are some of the successes or rewards of working in a field surrounded by so many women?
Yes. So that is a wonderful aspect of working in higher education. And I work with teachers. So I know that the teachers I work with are mostly working with in elementary school, right, with women.
Yes.
And so there's, with everything else, is a positive, and there's can be, more of a challenge, an opportunity, right, to change. So I find working with women, there can be a lot of support. There's a lot of empathy. There's a lot of women that have been through what I have been through, like as a young professional, having women that really could support me through my career has been really, really helpful. And then there's always going to be somebody who's maybe a little threatened. Unfortunately, society, I'm not going to get all into that, but unfortunately, society can, women sometimes want to compare or, men do it too.
I call it the men pitting us against each other, which has formed this, which has really truly formed this nature of us competing. It always starts from the male first.
Right. It's a patriarch. It's not a men or female thing. It's really a patriarch, right? So
yeah,
right. So you get, sometimes, there's not as many women at the top. So, right. So there's always going to be a little bit more comparison, or what is she doing? Or, and for me, just listening to something today, it's like those people, those women that are really up there and doing amazing things in leadership roles. I want to be like, congratulate you. And like somebody like yourself, you're so ambitious. You're always doing something new, like kudos to you. Like, I just want to see you keep doing what you're doing and go further, let's support each other.
You're always out there, and you're always like on the side. Great job. I see what you're doing. And it's been really great having you in my network as well. And with that conversation of having people champion you and being in your corner and networking, did you have a mentor that helped you navigate any issues in your advancement? Because you went from different sectors of the education. Did you have a mentor or sponsor that kind of helped you along the way?
Yeah, early on, I didn't really appreciate what a mentor brought to the table, but I would say, like in my early 30s, I was, I somehow just organically, we became like informal mentee mentor, and, she really was I'm saying was because she's not with us today, but she's definitely somebody that Yeah. But I have had so many mentors and sponsors, men and women. I mean, men and women who have actually, have encouraged me, have taken me to the side, have said, let's, sometimes in moments and then sometimes in more of a formal capacity, let's get coffee, let's meet
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
So mentors are really important. And, something that my mentor taught me was also having that reverse mentorship. She used to say, I get so much out of just meeting with you, even though I'm the mentor. She used to say, it's reverse mentorship. I'm learning from you.
yes, yes. I always said that I always have people that are either advanced further along than I am, as well as not as far along as I am, because we're teaching each other. So I agree with the reverse mentorship. Um, and it's really important to surround yourself by people at every level, in your career and in business, especially. So I want to get to the meat of today's conversation, about, providing that healing and promoting hope. How can working moms start shifting their own mental wellness at work to feel less stress and avoid burnout? This has been such a big topic in the last couple of years, and really why I think this theme was really brought to the forefront for this year.
Yes, and I love talking to the working mother. It's so important. I'm a working mother. I also have a 7-year-old, and working full time, side hustle, being a mother, a wife, homeowner, all these things, right? So there's a big balance, and I think the for working moms, the number one thing that we need to do is just smash that myth that we're going to be perfect and we're going to do it right all the time, because it's just not going to happen. And that myth of balance, there's never going to be complete balance. Those people are like, oh, let's create the balance. Let's create the balance. No, it's your perception or your conception of what you think balance is in your own
Mhm,
personal life. Everyone
mhm.
has their own, identity of what
Right,
what is balance in their life and what shows up as balance. So smashing the
right.
myth of perfection, you know, I don't know. Women sometimes think, and I'll talk for myself, that we have to do it perfectly and we have to do it right. And there's an author that says, life is beautiful and brutal all at the same time.
Yeah, it certainly is, and I think we do. I think we do more damage to each other than from outside worlds, because we're trying to be our picture of perfection, because there is no model, right? There is no true model. At least we seem to look at others and think that is what perfection looks like, but it really is something different for each person. Why should mental wellness be a priority right now?
So we've been through a pandemic, and let's hope that we've been through the pandemic, right? It's been 2 years and we're tired of talking about it, right? So it's been a lot.
Yeah.
And recognizing that we've been through it and that you're still here standing.
Hmm.
It's no matter which way you look at it, if you want to recognize it or not, it's definitely put a toll on everyone's mental health.
Yeah.
So mental wellness is a priority because yes, we want to be, physically healthy, physically well. Mental wellness, mindset, how we see the world, how we talk to ourselves, how we show up with self-compassion. Are
Hmm.
we in the moment? Are we present?
Yeah.
Mindfulness, all those things affect us at work, as working parents, as working mothers. And then when we go home or when we disconnect from our laptops at home and go see our children and our spouses, and how are we showing up?
Right.
If we're burnt out, exhausted, drained, still connected to the cell phone, at dinner time, we're not our highest self,
Right.
our best version. And people are showing up more and more right now with mental health concerns, anxiety, depression, these type of things at work. And
Yeah.
it's putting a toll on the employers. It's putting a toll on colleagues. It's putting a toll on the family. It's putting a toll on us. So that's why it's really is a priority right now.
Yeah. I heard, or I read something recently that said people are now starting to realize that they can just scale back on how hard they go in at work instead of leaving work, right? And
Right.
so it's more of a conversation of, is it okay to give less or put a pause, right? Why do working
Mm.
moms now more than ever need to put a pause on
You know,
more?
you have no idea what you just said is so funny. My sister-in-law for my birthday got me a necklace. It's the pause button
Oh
because I'm
wow.
always putting a pause
Yeah.
is so important. That's a step. That's a step of reflection and mindfulness and just not feeling like you have to run, run, run or rush, rush, rush. You're
Hmm.
right. Putting a pause.
Yeah. I think it's something that, with the Great Resignation that has occurred in our time, and certainly because of the pandemic, because of all the social issues that are happening, Me Too, Black Lives, people are now aligning themselves with things, companies that share their same values, and I think that is, one of the biggest changes in self-care and mental health that people are really leaning into, and the pause. We don't need to necessarily have to, exit, unless, most of the time we leave because of bad bosses too, let's be honest.
Right.
But the pause and the slowdown at work is just as important, and companies need to embrace that. What advice would you give to companies, uh, to say, allow your workforce, especially women that are caretakers, to take those pauses? What are some advice you can give to the leaders out there?
Yeah, there's so many things, right, that leaders can do. It's like, first of all, let's lead with empathy.
Mm,
Let's put ourselves in other people's shoes and really lean into, like you said, lean into what's happening. And I
yeah,
think I would hope that people and leaders and CEOs and presidents are leaning into that and seeing how important it is to take care of their employees and not,
right.
mhm. um, having structures in place. There's so many things you can do. Wellness programs are not just about, incorporating, walking competition and having some, you know, self care is not, manicures and pedicures. It's really about recognizing that mental health is a priority at the
Yeah,
organization. I just posted recently that like 25% of people looking for jobs right now are asking about mental health benefits
yeah,
within an organization, professional development or benefits, not just, the fancy ones,
right,
that have like an app or something,
right,
more in-depth offerings, recognizing that mental health days are important too. And
right. So important.
yes,
Inside Her Sweet Spot, you mentioned it at the beginning of our talk. Our members are working women with small businesses and those side passion projects or hustles. What are your passions now, and how do you spend your downtime?
so as a working parent, I definitely enjoy my downtime and the things I love to do. I love music. I love dancing. I'll dance in my kitchen. That's always fun. I am a person that enjoys meditation. I work in the wellness arena, right? So I enjoy meditation and I enjoy being out in Mother Nature.
Yeah,
Just sometimes it's just getting some sun. Like a day like today, it's cold, but getting some sun and just really being grounded with what we have and having a gratitude practice about that and
mhm,
realizing that we are part of this world and that we don't have to be rushing around all the time. So
right.
a lot of my downtime is spent like practicing self-care because we don't get a lot of downtime as working moms. So
No,
when I
we
do, I want to make sure that I'm doing something that feeds me.
Yeah, that's great. What is one quote, before we let you go? What is one quote or affirmation or phrase that you use to keep you motivated?
Sure. So I actually put this book here, and for Women's Day, it's called "Great Things for Every Woman to Remember." And I'm just gonna it's really quick. I'm going to read something. Listen to your heart. Always be true to yourself, regardless of what others are doing. Don't be afraid to show the world your authentic self. Every day is an opportunity to do something great. All the small things you do every day add up to something pretty significant. And it's
That
true,
is
right?
so
Everything we do,
true. That
even
is
if it's
so
little,
true. and such great inspiration for people to really hold on to. Alana, can you tell us where we can find you? Tell us how to get a copy of your book and where people can connect with you online. Show us the book.
Sure. This is the book. It's a reflection on Mother Nature. It's a date at a time reader. You can find me at my name, AlinaRHeitz.com, or link in with me. I'd love to, be connected and share information with you. So that's me.
Alina, ALINA Heights, HAITZ.com. Thank you so
Yes.
much for being my guest today and for sharing a little bit about your journey and helping women find and understand that self-care and wellness really is an essential part of life. Guys, you know how I like to end each show. When we empower each other, we all rise. Bye-bye for now.